Tonight, we lead off by examining the legacy of legendary Longhorn running back Cedric Benson. Before he ever cemented his name in Longhorn lore, Cedric Benson was a Texas high school football legend. Starring at Midland Lee, Benson scored a whopping 15 touchdowns in 3 state title victories, most famously a 5-touchdown performance in 2000 in a win over Westlake.
Everybody's recruiting him. He's on cover of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and everybody wants him. And I remember Houston Street saying after the game, he basically was the one who talked him out of trying to play football because he was playing safety and trying to bring down Cedric. But wow, you knew it right then.
When Benson burst onto the scene, former UT teammate Rod Babers was already on campus and recalls the orders from Mack Brown quite clearly.
I remember when on this recruiting visit, Mack Brown telling us, hey, we got to get Ced B. 2 guys we had to get in that one class, Ced B, Derek Johnson. Told Mack, I said, Mack, we'll get him. Don't worry about it. I don't think there was even a question that both of those guys were coming.
So he arrived on the 40 acres surrounded by hype.
He came in as Superman. I mean, he came in as the next Ricky Williams, right? We called him Mini Ricky.
Excitement and expectation. And for 4 straight years, Benson delivered for the Longhorns.
I love the way Ced Benson ran the ball. Longhorn fans, I can describe it for you. You'll know what I'm talking about. He had a great lean. Remember that lean, that Ced Benson lean, where he would lean all the time and look like and he'd always fall forward no matter who he got hit from what angle.
Benson's 5,500 career rushing yards are second only to Ricky Williams in the UT record books. To this day, he still ranks 10th all-time in FBS career rushing yards.
Cedric Benson is going to score a touchdown.
He also eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark in all 4 seasons at Texas and won the Doak Walker Award as a senior. But the numbers and accolades aren't the only way people remember Cedric Benson, the football player.
Cedric was one of our favorites, mine and Sally's. He was a true spirit, one of the toughest players we've ever coached, if not the toughest.
Mack tells the story about the Michigan game in the Rose Bowl when he hyperextended his knee, and they hey, you're going to be a first-round pick. You need to sit down on the sidelines now. And he was like, no, coach, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And then the fact that he was crying after the game because it was the last time in the Longhorn uniform. For a Texas fan, you will never have a guy that was prouder to put on a burnt orange and white uniform than Cedric Benson.
The Longhorn legend was drafted number 4 overall by the Chicago Bears, but his most successful years in the league came with the Cincinnati Bengals. But in many respects, Benson lived off the field like he carried the rock on it. Tough, rugged, fearless.
Ced B was a free spirit. You can say he was a free spirit. Some people would say that, Ced B lived life by his own rules.
Benson towed the line from time to time during his pro and college careers, sometimes making headlines off the field for the wrong reason.
Somebody stole his TV once, and they had it in the apartment, and he knew where it was, and he told the police to go get it, and he said the police wouldn't get it, so he goes and knocks the door in and goes and gets his TV, comes back out, and the police called it breaking and entering. He called it getting my TV back. And I said, you can't do that. You stole the TV. And he said, no, it was my TV. So that's just the attitude that he had. So I wouldn't let him practice the week for Baylor. I wouldn't let him travel. He said, can I be on the bus? I said, no. Can I be on the sideline? Nope, you're out for a full week. We win the game. We get back at 2 in the morning, and Cedric Benson's standing there waiting on the bus. And that's just the kind of teammate he was.
But in the end, those close to him recall his legacy as one of a loyal teammate with diverse interests and an endless curiosity on and off the football field.
He'll always be remembered as an amazing football player, but for me, I remember the stories I used to have with him away from the football field because he was so cool to talk to, such an amazing guy, so smart. And you couldn't just tell him something and expect him to just nod his head. He was going to question, well, why did you tell me that? I couldn't get him to go to an interview without questioning me why I was taking him to the interview. So I know I appreciate the fact that I'm going to be able to remember a lot of the conversations that he had an impact on me professionally.
He was a thoughtful, giving, heartwarming person. Like he would genuinely, he loved fans to come up to him and talk about how they were inspired by his play, and he would give them his time. And he would give of himself. The family atmosphere, it was predominant here at Texas. That's what Mack Brown sold, that's what Tom Herman's selling. And even today, talking to all of my fellow brothers, you feel that. And everybody, misses Ced B right now.
So many feel the same way. Texas head football coach Tom Herman, among many offering condolences. Herman said in a statement, in part, we lost a true Longhorn legend, one of the best running backs in college football history, and a really special man. He was far too young, and my heart aches for his family. So many others also showing their love, including some former teammates. Michael Huff tweeting about Benson's freshman year. when he said he'd leave UT as one of the greatest ever. Indeed, he did just that. Vince Young also tweeted his condolences. Later in the show, we look back at some of Benson's greatest UT moments.